Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Naruto Explain here, and today we're doing the 300,000 subscriber Q&A, and as always, we're going to be starting over on the Patreon. But before we get into the Q&A itself, first and foremost, I got to say thank you so much for 300,000 subscribers from the very first people who signed up on this channel back in fall of 2018 to the people who have been down with me from the Kryptonian SAIYAN days to all the new people who are subscribing to the channel right now. I appreciate the support of each and every one of you guys. I don't take any of this for granted, first and foremost, and I can say for certainty that in 2023 there are a lot of plans to start revamping the channel itself. I got some really fun videos being planned for 2023. We're gonna start weaning off of just doing like the Boruto manga discussions. I know that's fun. That's stuff that a lot of people enjoy simply because Boruto's manga is ongoing right now, but we're gonna switch gears a little bit and start increasing the amount of lore that we do here on the channel to try and get it more balanced like it was when we first started doing Naruto content. That's just one of the many changes we're going to start making to content 2023. So keep your eyes peeled. Once we get through tax season, that's when you can start expecting a bunch of new resources to start coming into the channel. So going into the Q&A itself though, over on the Patreon, it says as always, patrons get first crack. Ask whatever question you want. Nothing's off limits. Going to try and upload this on Monday, so I'll record the audio on Friday. Thanks to 300 subs, guys. So first and foremost, we got DeLorean Williams, one of the very first patrons to ever hold me down over on the Patreon. He says, peace during the Wano arc when, okay, so if you're not caught up on One Piece, you want to skip ahead a couple minutes. Okay, so peace during the Wano arc when Luffy and company were trying to give Kaido and Swoop, and I got curious about something. Stay with me here. Now, if Luffy is striving to be Pirate King and Zoro wants to be the best swordsman, how do you think Mihawk would have favored against Kaido, especially when Zoro cut through his skin and left the mark on him? I mean, at that point, Zoro had learned a few things from him, so I can't help but wonder how that would play out if the master switch roles with the students. Man, that's a good question. I mean, I always looked at it like at that point in time where Zoro was, Mihawk was still stronger. So I definitely think Mihawk would have done better. I definitely think Mihawk would have done better against Kaido, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure if Mihawk by himself, keyword by himself, would have been able to take down Kaido, especially like say if Big Mom was there on top of that, and like say Big Mom, you know, does the stuff where she takes a year of her lifespan and just grows even larger and stronger. Like, I don't know if Mihawk is enough to take that down on his own. And in 2023, we are going to start shifting things and cranking things up over on that One Piece channel, Straw Hat KRYPTONIAN SAIYAN too. So I appreciate you holding me down over there as well. So Snap says, all right, peace, Naruto Explain. First question I got to ask is, how are you doing and what's going on in your life? Second question is, what do you feel about the comparison between Sasuke's Amaterasu and Kashin's Trance of True Flames, since both are fire jutsu without being able to be extinguished? Okay, so I'm doing well. Dealing with a situation where I paid a lot of money for some videos and I've not gotten the videos back yet, and that kind of messed up my plans on the channel. The patrons know exactly what I'm talking about, from Patreon exclusive videos to videos I was going to upload on Naruto Explain. Made the mistake of paying somebody early because they're in a tight jam. I've worked with this person in the past and I've not gotten all the videos that I promised despite constant communications. And I went out on a limb to help this person out when that was money I could have used myself, because as you guys know, like I buried my grandmom this year, I buried my aunt this year. That's on top of all the legal bills I've been paying. So that hurt. Taking a long time. I think I've gotten like 3 or 4 videos since I reached out to a mutual friend of the two of ours, but you know, there's still another 13 videos outstanding. And if you've ever commissioned videos to work, you know exactly how expensive that is. So I'm a little annoyed and disappointed on that. And that's part of the reason why I have not been able to keep the content as consistent as I wanted over here on Naruto Explain, because that's a lot of money I was missing out on. Other than that, man, everything is good in my personal life, man. You know, a buddy of mine and his wife, you know, trying to have a kid, you know, they asked to use my name for the kid's middle name. I'm highly flattered by that. They've been extremely supportive of everything that you know, I've been doing. You know, like I've made a lot of sacrifices to start pushing in more content. So, you know, those are my people, man. You know, the guy that asked me, you know, if I ever get married, you know, that's gonna be my best man. So, you know, I'm highly flattered by that. For the second question, the comparison with Sasuke's Amaterasu and Kashin Koji's True Essence Flames, like, or Trance of True Flames, I think is valid, and I really want to do a video analyzing both of them. The only thing is, it's like we need Boruto data books. I keep saying this, like we need more information about some of the jutsu used in Boruto, because like those flames being so hot that they can outmaneuver Victor's regeneration, like that is broken. Like that is broken to burn that hot and that fast that you can't even regenerate from it. Like we need more information in the form of a data book with a jutsu file that breaks down all the information on the jutsu and goes in depth on the jutsu in ways that the manga doesn't. Like this is why I forever say Boruto needs data books. So yeah, I think that the comparison is valid, but it's also one of those things where like, I don't know the debate term, what is it, Optimus Razor? It's one of those things like you don't have all the information, so you know it's kind of open-ended. So Brandon Mole replied and said, okay, so out of curiosity, how far ahead do you have your videos planned? You don't have to answer this, but if you could take any women on Naruto Boruto to be your wife, who would it be? Okay, so first and foremost, as far as for how far ahead do I have my videos planned in advance, in 2020 and 2021, I actually, outside of the manga videos, so outside the manga videos, I had all my videos in 2020 and 2021 planned out up until November of that year. So from January to November, I had 15 videos for each month planned out. They weren't all finished, but they were all scripted, and it was just a matter of recording the audio and sending them to whatever editors I used those videos, or if money was running tight, then I would edit the videos myself. So I had about 11 months planned out. Now in 2022, it's been a little bit harder because on one hand, I had 13 videos outstanding, and that would have been a whole month of content that I was planning on dropping in July, because what I wanted to do was just have all the videos for a couple of light novels already planned out and just drop them in a short sequence together, and then also have some lore videos mixed in with that. That way, like there was consistent quality for each month. Because of everything that's going on, like with my grandma, with, you know, having to put her in the dementia home, and then once she started having those strokes in her brain and the health started declining, like she would get better and then it would kind of go off and everything. Like between April and September, I was back and forth 350 miles away from my home because of everything that was going on, and that really put a damper on what I was able to do. And you know, a couple of the editors that I was working with, because of the inconsistent amount of work I could actually give them, I actually lost a couple of editors because of that. You know, it was just 2022 has been really hard. So for 2023 right now, like as of this recording on December 10th, I have my videos for 2023. I have videos planned for up to June. And quite a few of those are actually longer videos, at least longer for me, 18 to 20 minute videos. For videos that go on KRYPTONIAN SAIYAN, I have videos planned out for whenever Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, their new seasons come out. I have those videos planned and in the can ready to go. So I plan pretty far in advance. And like once I start doing more discussions on the One Piece channel, it'll be the same thing. Kakashi copied that in one take. / Chris Bell says, we got two of them, man, because you brought up Kenshin, because normally when you ask two questions, I only pick one, but you brought up Kenshin in the other one. So that's my favorite series right there. So, you know, it's one of them things like you get a pass to this one, homie. All right. So the first question is, congrats on 300,000. How do you think 2023 is going to play out? I got to go back to Brandon Mull. Hold on, Chris. You don't have to answer this, but if you could take any woman, any of the women in the Naruto or Boruto to be your wife, who would it be? You know, that's a good one, man. Like the knee-jerk reaction is not 10-10. I make the lady 10-10 jokes, but it's not 10-10. I don't know, man. Like knee-jerk, I would say Hanabi up until I saw old girl, like she got sloppy drunk in Boruto episode 50, man. Like that's so not attractive. Like I can't do that one, man. Like I can't do a woman that, you know, get that drunk. Like she's a happy drunk. But man, she was completely out of it, man. If I had to pick a woman, it wouldn't be Sakura. It's not because like I hate soccer or anything like that. Sakura's one of those ones like you gotta really be like super masculine in order to keep Sakura in check. She's one of those ones, like, if you let her, she's gonna run over you. So that's one of those things, like, I can't do that. But Hinata's too soft. Like, Hinata, she's one of those ones, like, she's got the other qualities that I like in women. You know, like, Hinata is smart, but she isn't just out here running her mouth, and she's very supportive. You know, she does a good job taking care of the family and everything. You know, Hinata's there for Naruto, especially if you read the novel. She's there for Naruto in ways that Naruto himself doesn't even know that his wife is supporting him. That is super attractive. I mean, that's not to say Sakura doesn't do that. We've seen that with Sasuke, Redstone, but it's one of those things, like, if I could blend those qualities together, like the fun nature of Hanabi, the femininity of Hinata, and just that devotion that Sakura has, if I could kind of put those three things together, then yeah. But off the top of my head, man, I can't think of a Naruto woman that kind of fits into that. I mean, they're all better than Makima, so I mean, that's a great thing. Chris Bell says, and how you think 2023 is gonna play out? Who do you see going out first? Whose heads rolling first out of beloved characters? So that's interesting. So if you let me do it, I would kill Sasuke. Like, I would absolutely kill Sasuke. I would drop this man off and have him getting killed by that Ten Tails army. Just have this man go out as an absolute colossal beast. I would either kill Sasuke or I would kill Hinata, because I think they have the best narrative impacts on boards as a character. I don't think we're getting a death in 2023 unless Kishimoto throws us for a zinger and it ends up being someone like Amato who ends up getting killed. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Now, the second question, he says, what's the one thing you're looking forward to with Rurouni Kenshin being rebooted? And hope you're doing good, brother, as well as the rest of the family. I hope you're doing well, because I know from some of the conversations in the Patreon, you also had a rough 2022 as well. So I hope everything's going well for you, brother. The one thing I'm looking forward to with the Rurouni Kenshin reboot, cannot wait to see, is actually seeing the final arc, because that final arc adapted from the manga is gonna make Kenshin, in my opinion, for anybody who's watching this series for the first time or who has never read the manga, it's gonna make Kenshin one of your favorite characters, because the man gets emotionally broken and stripped down and goes through a severe depression, and to see him overcome that because of everything that's happened in his life, it is so beautiful. And just to see how the character arc comes full circle. The Rurouni Kenshin movies are really damn good. That is live action done right. I can't wait to actually see the Rurouni Kenshin anime reboot. I cannot wait to see that. Marquise is saying, what's up? This is my first comment, but first, hope you're doing all right. And I've been loving the content for a while, but other than genetics, what makes Boruto and Kawaki special to the people to them that have karma? Because their personalities are similar when you think about it. You know, again, that's why we need Boruto data books. Like, a data book would explain, like, what is it in particular that makes someone a perfect vessel for Inosuke. Like, that's the one thing we need more information on. I don't have an answer. I can't tell you, fam. Scott Van Gaspik says, how likely is Amato Inosuke? I'm thinking he might be Shibai reincarnation and his daughter might be the second Inosuke. That'd be a hell of a plot twist. Like, I've seen people say, like, hey, if you look at Shibai, he's got the same beard as Amato. Like, with manga stuff like that, you can't look sideways on. Like, that's the first thing I will say. You know, especially like if you read One Piece, like, that is definitely something Oda would do. And because Kishimoto and Oda are very close friends, like going to each other's wedding as in close friends, like, I wouldn't put it past that to be the case. I need more information before we say that. Like, the last chapter, if this is a red herring, I definitely took the bait on Amato. Sir Wilco says, everyone knows Amato's sketchy and Kawaki seemed very hesitant to believe that all he has to do is plant a karma on a clone body in order to fulfill Amato's wish and bring his daughter back to life. My question is, do you think there will be a drawback directly affecting Kawaki? Would he lose his karma? Abiki is resurrected in another body, and since it would be possible, do you think Boruto Kawaki implanting their karma on a clone just made for them by Amato? You know, I definitely think there's something hidden there, and Kawaki's been around Amato enough to know that, like, yeah, I don't trust this dude right here. Something's off. So yeah, I think your instincts are right. I think there's more to it, especially just given what we saw in the chapter. Like, I definitely think there's more to it there. I don't think either one of them would trust Amato enough to actually have a model make a clone for them particularly. Zachary says, do you think Kawaki and Ada will be a romantic couple by the end of the Boruto manga and anime? I think it's possible. I think It's too early to say though. We need more information. Now that they're interacting, let's see how Ada plays her cards. Mia says, I hope everything is well and I wish nothing but the best for you going into the new year. I appreciate that, man. My question for you is, what characters in Boruto do you think have the most potential for the time skip, or who do you have high hopes or expectations for? Also, congrats. So I think in terms of the most potential, I definitely think you have to say Boruto and Kawaki because they have Otsutsuki genetics. And the manga's already said that they are going to continue to awaken more Otsutsuki powers. So I definitely think that we're going to see them continue to break through their limits, especially because you have the whole thing with Shinjutsu and Momoshiki has knowledge of Shinjutsu. I think that it's inevitable you're going to see Boruto start using that stuff. If you take Boruto and Kawaki out of it, the characters in manga format who I think definitely have the most potential is Sarada and Mitsuki, because both of them have blank slates in terms of how you can write them, because with Sharingan, the more emotion they're feeling, the stronger you can have the Sharingan get. Both of them have access to high quality trainers. Mitsuki has Sage Mode. Sage Mode has a unknown multiplier, so it's essentially as strong as you need it to be. Because you have a time skip, it's a tried and true tested shonen trope to power characters up in that fashion. So yeah, I definitely think it's the members of Team 7. Simply Kenobi says, what's the technical use of rubber ducky? There is no technical use of rubber ducky as far as I'm concerned. Rubber ducky is just nice to have whenever you're taking a really hot bath. Like, just put the rubber ducky in that mother. I can't say that because YouTube's whole changes that they have, man. I gotta cut back on the swearing now. Kid RJ says, I hope all is well on your side. I really don't know what to ask, but I will say I've been very disappointed with the fact that they have completely sidelined Sarada and Mitsuki. It looks like they're going to be relevant in the future chapters based off what we saw. Don't even get me started on Konohamaru track. I know there will be a potential fight with Sarada and Mitsuki versus Kawaki, but let's face it, they both get the butts handed to them. I'm more disappointed with what they're doing with Sarada's character. She's just been degraded to shipping bait, and that's so annoying because she's a character with a lot of potential. So I guess my question would be, if you had control over character development starting with the next chapter going forward, what would you have her journey be during the time skip? I'd have her train on the Naruto. Like, right there, I would have her train on the Naruto because she wants to become a Hokage. She's already been shown bonding with Naruto and Naruto Gaiden, and I don't think Kishimoto drew that stuff by mistake. I would love to see her train on the Naruto, come out of the time skip more knowledgeable. I would have her have been in that Hokage library reading all the files left behind by the previous Hokage, and having gone through the jutsu scrolls and everything that the Hokage has access to. That's what I would do, and I would have her definitely train with Naruto, not learn like Frog Sage Mode or anything like that. Like, I think that's redundant, but I definitely think that's the route you go there. That's the best thing you can do for Sarada. All right, so let's head over to YouTube now that we got the Patreon portion finished. Over on the YouTube channel, the first question we got Jaden Uchiha, who's in that notification squad. I see you pop up, man. Much appreciated. So, congratulations on 300,000 subscribers. It's very much deserved. What role would you personally like Kakashi/Orochimaru to play in Boruto? I think it's time to start cashing in on Naruto telling Tsunade and the rest of them that Orochimaru has been working on weapons and defenses against the Otsutsuki clan. I want to see it. I at least want to see some progress. You can't have like 3 mad scientists in Konoha. You cannot have Amato, Katasuke, and Orochimaru and not have the 3 of them in a room. I would just love one chapter. Like, give me one chapter where the 3 of them are just in the room smoking cigars and cigarettes and drinking wine and whatever, and they're just talking about all these crazy inventions they're making. I would love to see something like that, though. That's what I want. Now, Kakashi, and what role do I think Kakashi, or what role would I personally like for Kakashi to play in Boruto? I mean, I stay with it. I would be down with Naruto stepping down as Hokage and Kakashi taking the mantle back up. And I kind of feel like the anime has dropped red herrings. I don't know if necessarily the anime is going to touch on that. I've done a whole video talking about that, and I'll leave that in the recommended video section of the description box to anybody who hasn't seen the video. So Ismail says, I don't have a question, but I do want to say that I'm just glad to be part of your journey. I'm glad to have you part of the journey, fam. I've been subscribed since the OG resub. There you go. I've been subscribed since the Kryptonian Saiyan days, and that was one of the best decisions I made that year. Thank you for continuously putting out content, and congratulations on 300K. This channel is only going to get bigger. Man, I appreciate that, man. You know, we come a long way since Kryptonian Saiyan. We come a long way since Kryptonian Saiyan. You know, hopefully I'm going to get that channel going in the way that I originally intended it, where that's just an anime variety channel where I talk about a bunch of different anime. You know, we finally hit a groove where like the videos I upload over there that aren't manga reviews are finally starting to hit 1,000 and 2,000 a pop. So, you know, we're hopefully, you know, we can get that one into gear for 2023 as well, man, because I'm operating that channel on a loss basically. Every time I get a video edited over there, I just have the expectation I'm not going to make the money back. So hopefully that one gets going like this one, man. I got high hopes for that channel on this one, so I appreciate your support, fam. Demenza says, do you think Shinjutsu will become prominent in the plot going forward post time skip and be like Boruto's own power system to separate it from Naruto? I think that that's where it's going. Again, I make all these references to Samurai 8 recently because I'm seeing a lot of Samurai 8 in Boruto, and that's why when people say, oh, Kishimoto's not writing this, I'm like, if you've read Samurai 8, you can see some of the plot elements and some of like the little small things being trickled into Boruto's story. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely think that Shinjutsu is just going to be another tier power. I definitely think that's it, and it fits into what, even when Kodachi was writing the story, it fits into what Boruto's always been about, which is the separation from Samsara, going beyond the six paths. Six paths level characters are characters like Kaguya and Hagoromo and like the Rinnegan powers, etc. We're going beyond that. So again, like Ishiki's Dharma Will I was a representation of that. We're moving beyond that type of stuff. So yes, Shinjutsu, divine power, that's just going to be the next progression to this. Butler's ID says, if the author decides to continue to grow the enemy's power levels above Ishiki, do you think the author could power up the new gen and old gen characters to combat future enemies to satisfy both sides of the fan base? So I'm gonna stick with what I said before. You know, when it comes to the Naruto generation, I wouldn't expect more than what you saw with Kakashi's generation, where Kakashi and Guy, their levels of power of what they were allowed to display, it got amped up the stronger the new generation got, because it goes back to what Masashi Kishimoto said in 2016 for Jump Festa 2017, which is, he said that with the power levels that Naruto and Sasuke are at right now, and the fact that the enemies are getting stronger and the fights are getting bigger and bigger, the levels of power and how power is displayed, it has to be expressed differently, because he does not want the fights when the children fight to feel lacking, because they obviously aren't as strong as their parents are. And it was something that deeply troubled him. That's almost a quote verbatim. And I think that you're seeing a sign of that going on right now, which is essentially like Kakashi and Guy and those characters. As Naruto's generation got stronger, you saw more of their power. Think about how, like, when you saw Tsunade looked a whole hell of a lot stronger than she did during the Legendary Signing 3-Way Deadlock. It's one of those things where as these characters, the new generation gets stronger, you'll see it, but you have to embrace the fact that we are inevitably going to be in a situation where the new generation surpasses the old one in power. Now, I think that you're going to see the same generic shonen stuff where, like, we come out of time skip and they're gonna be insanely powerful, just like how, like, all of a sudden characters in Naruto's generation went from, oh my god, they're barely gaining, to now they're tuning, but they're technically stronger than most jonin, or some of these characters were bordering that jonin power tier to all of a sudden, like, they're knocking on Kage levels of power. It's gonna be a similar thing there. Like, you're gonna have characters that are in Boruto's generation who might be knocking on the door of jonin tiers of power. They're gonna jump up a couple of tiers where they go from being jonin tier to being just below 10 Tails level. I think that you're gonna see something like that. Cam Lynch says, do you think that there will be an arc for Sarada of discovering her clan's history? So interestingly enough, you know, I believe it's Naruto Redstone. It's already kind of hinted that Sarada knows a little bit about the clan, because Sasuke's taken her to a memorial that's in Konoha that's specifically for the Uchiha clan. So we don't know if Sasuke has told her everything, but she's at least aware of some parts of her clan. I know the anime teased it in the anime original portion of the Naruto Gaiden manga adaptation with her looking into her clan. I think it'd be interesting to see more of that. Lord Darkin, I skipped you. Would you ever go into a deeper discussion into the backstory of Kage and the history of Shinobi? I feel like this is one of the more underrated parts of the story. You know, at some point I might do it, you know, like that's more of a video essay thing. And like the thing with video essays, like I try to only do video essays, and this is why you get them in batches. You know, I try to only do video essays when like I just really have like a strong passion. When I got a strong passion for a topic where like I just get this urge to just like sit down and write for one character or one aspect of a story, it usually leads to me doing 3 or 4 videos right after that of that same vein. So I'd say when the bug hits me, I'm definitely going to do it. But I'm kind of interested in doing that now. I've got to sit down and look at a few things. Tess says, congratulations, man. I know I joined late, but you have come a long way. My question is, how do you think Naruto's kindness has been foreshadowed as his ultimate downfall, and how it might be handled, and how will it affect Boruto's character? So first and foremost, I definitely think that, yeah, like Naruto's downfall is his kindness. It is that big heart. And I think that ultimately it's going to come in the form of Kawaki, and it's going to hurt a lot because you see what Naruto gave up to protect Kawaki. So I think that that's going to be it. And I think that's going to open Boruto's eyes a little bit. So kind of curious to see how that one goes. Sid H says, congratulations on 300K. My question to you is, where do you think the Boruto plot will head after the events of chapter 75? And what do you think could be the main turning point in the series leading up to the flash forward sequence? Something's happened with Kawaki, man. Like I don't fully trust everything Amato said. I think the part about his daughter and Shibai is correct. I think there's more to Kawaki's karma though. And because he's got that shutdown code on Kawaki, I think there's more to it. I think something's going to happen with all that, and potentially with Momoshiki, that is going to lead us towards that. As far as like where the plot's going forward for chapter 76, like I know I do like all these like, yo, code 5 ways of becoming a Susugai. Like I do those, you know, water cooler discussions because, you know, it's just a good time to, you know, just talk and converse amongst fans. Chapter 76, if you put a pistol in my head, I would say definitely more exposition from Amato, more about Amato's motives, a little bit more on questioning. We're probably going to see some of the stuff from Kawaki or from Momoshiki's perspective. And I think like you might see something to do with Code, just because it's been a while since we've actually seen Code. But I'm not expecting a lot just because we're in exposition and setup. I think it's too early for a ball breaker of a plot twist like Code is standing outside of Konoha with his army. I don't think we're quite there yet. Okay, so this is where we're gonna bring the 300,000 subscriber Q&A to a close because we're bordering on 30 minutes as of the editing right now. I have almost 2 hours worth of questions recorded where I obviously respond to all your different questions and etc. So this will, like the other Q&A, will be a multi-part series. So just keep notifications turned on, because if I didn't answer your question here, chances are it gets answered in one of the next Q&As. We'll probably break this one up into probably 2 or 3 more Q&As, just going over the different things like this. But gotta say, from the bottom of my heart, man, I really appreciate you guys, man. 300,000 of you guys subscribe to the channel. That's absolutely huge. That's a huge milestone. I do not take any of your support for granted, whether you're hitting the like button, whether you're in the notification squad, commenting on every video, whether or not you're a patron. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Again, I don't take the support for granted at all. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.